Well, you know about Tokyo, Osaka, and Kyoto, but what about Shikoku? Never heard of it? Well, you should.
Shikoku is not a city, but rather one of Japan's 4 main islands. If you want a taste of the rural, untouched beauty that is Japan, you should put Shikoku on your itinerary. In this video, we travel throughout the eastern half of Shikoku, stopping at the Otsuka Museum of Art, which is unlike any we've seen elsewhere in Japan. And down along the coast with its stunning scenery, to an eerie temple cave. Then to the mountainous interior to visit the hidden gem of Monet's garden. And later, Oboke Gorge with its pastel blue water and stunning rock canyon. Though Shikoku is an island, you can reach it by rail from Okayama, which is a stop on the Tokaido Shinkansen line. The train routes largely encircle the island with 2 routes to the interior.
There are the large cities of Kochi, Matsuyama, and Takamatsu, but to get a real sense of this amazing island, you need to rent a car, which we'll cover in a moment. But for now, let's go check out the island.
After picking up our car in Kurashiki, we drive Route 30 from the main island of Honshu to Shikoku, passing across several large islands and 6 bridges. On a sunny day, the views are inspiring.
Okay, we're on the island of Shikoku. We're across the bridge from Kobe, standing outside the Otsuka Art Museum, International Art Museum. And we're going through these doors down below, up through that mountain, up above.
The museum is one of the largest in Japan with over 7 acres of exhibition space and much of it underground. The unique thing about this museum is that the artwork is authorized reproductions on ceramic plates so that the works will never lose their color. The results are so impressive that for the longest time while we toured the museum, we didn't realize we were looking at ceramic plates with the images printed on them. But not everything in the museum consists of flat plates. There are life-size reproductions of artwork and archaeological finds throughout Europe, such as the catacombs and the Church of St. Nicholas Orphanos, a 14th century Byzantine church located in Thessalonica, Greece. Another is the Church of St. Theodore, a church building cut out of solid rock around the 14th century in Istanbul, Turkey, showing frescoes uncovered in the early 1920s. One of the most impressive works after ascending the 4-story escalator from the entrance is a life-size reproduction of the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel. Its worldwide fame by Michelangelo is breathtaking and was a shock to the senses. Another room that amazed us was a reproduction of the Scrovegni Chapel in Veneto, Italy. This 12th century chapel is another life-size reproduction, as is all the artwork in the museum.
The museum features over 1,000 works of art. The pieces have been captured from over 190 museums around the world. It's just an amazing place. We don't feel like we're in Japan at all.
The exhibits move you through time, starting with the ancient and medieval, on to the Renaissance, featuring the works of Botticelli, Leonardo da Vinci, Raphael, and others, before continuing through the Baroque period with works by Rembrandt, Vermeer, Goya, and finally into the early modern times of Renoir, Van Gogh, and Cézanne. The upper level concludes with the late modern featuring Picasso, Dali, and others. Once you've reached this upper level, you can step outside onto the expansive lawn overlooking the waters below, or tour the outdoor exhibition of Monet's water lilies. The Otsuka Museum is a must-see whenever you visit the island of Shikoku. We then head along the coast, passing through small villages on the edge of the rocky coastline. Along the way, we stop at Cape Kabuka with its twin peaks of jagged rock with waves crashing below. The blue waters of the Pacific provide a stark contrast to the dark weathered rock. And nearby we watch some of the locals enjoying the surf. A little further down the road is the Miko Cave. This is where Kobo Daishi, a famous Buddhist monk, practiced asceticism, denying himself of any earthly indulgence. In looking at the inside, you can guess he must have been content with his choice.
Now, along the drive around Shikoku Island, there are numerous places to stop and enjoy the scenery, and it is spectacular. The rocky shore, out there is the Pacific Ocean. Behind us over this side are the mountains. It's just a spectacular drive, especially on a sunny day. So I would encourage you, if you're out this way, you've got to rent a car because you're not going to get here by train or bus. So that's the only way to do it, and it's a blast.
For the first night on our journey, we stop at the Yuyu Nasa Hotel. It's an older hotel with full onsen and dining options. Being an older hotel, our room was very large with enough space to handle a family of 4 or more. The view from the elevated sitting area was peaceful, and with a cup of hot chocolate or coffee, life couldn't be better. Well, now's the time in the video when we ask you to join us in the journey by clicking the like or subscribe buttons. It helps us to know we're doing something right. It's free, it's easy, you won't get put on any mailing list, and be sure to click the notification button because that will let you know whenever we post a new video so you don't miss out. As we continue the journey, we visit Monet's garden. This was a real surprise as we stumbled upon it while simply looking over the map. This is literally in the middle of nowhere, yet it is a first-class botanical garden, all centered around recreating the paintings of Claude Monet. Well, folks, we have driven along the shoreline here at Shikoku Island and stumbled upon an absolutely beautiful spot. It's called the Kitagawa Village Monet's Garden, and it's a botanical garden designed to replicate Monet's paintings, some of his most famous paintings, such as the water lilies and so forth. And we're here at a great time of year. It's mid-April, temperature's great, things are in bloom, coming out even more. Definitely off the beaten path, would you say?
Absolutely off the beaten path.
I mean, how many Western visitors have we seen today on this?
None.
None. I mean, so if you want to get out and really experience a different part of Japan, this is a place to come to. The garden consists of around 8 acres of incredible landscapes in rural Shikoku. As you walk through the gardens of the easy paved pathways, you'll find various displays of famous paintings by Monet, strategically placed so that you can see a reproduction in nature of the paintings. There are 3 gardens: the water garden, the flower garden, and the garden of Borigera, each one dear to Monet. Here at the garden, you can experience the semi-formal flower garden, lush with dozens of varieties of flowering plants, situated beneath the large terrace, where you can enjoy lunch or a drink and soak in the atmosphere. On a warm spring day, it is simply a delight. Elsewhere, you take your time strolling along the pathways around the water garden. This is where you'll find touches of Monet's works, including a beautiful wisteria-adorned terrace that looks down on the pond. There are all manner of viewing spots tucked away here and there to provide you a different perspective of what Monet may have envisioned when creating his world-famous water lilies paintings. Here is just one example of his paintings recreated in real life, although the time of year will dictate how close the two turn out to be. After passing through and around the water garden, you come to one that is rather unexpected in Japan. It's a recreation of Monet's visit to Borigera, Italy, on the Mediterranean Sea. He loved this climate and the play of light on the buildings and landscapes, and here at Monet's garden, you will feel as if you are near the Mediterranean yourself. It's a total surprise. Of course, there is the requisite gift shop from which you can purchase all things Monet, or you can pick up a bite to eat at the cafe and on a nice day, enjoy the view from the deck. The entire experience is one of relaxation, peacefulness, and beauty. As we leave the coast, we start heading deep into the mountainous terrain of the interior to our first stop, the Oboke Gorge, carved out by the Yoshino River. The drive takes us through small villages and along narrow roads with steep drops to the side. All the while, the scenery is stunning. Now, driving in the country, or driving period, just gives you a sense of freedom that you don't get by other modes of transportation. So this is what allows you to go into the uncharted portions of Japan to see the unique things that most of the tourists do not see. And that's what we enjoy, getting away from the crowds, because there's so much more to see than just Tokyo, Kyoto, and Osaka. Those 3 cities you absolutely must see, no question about it. But oh my goodness, if you only see those and don't get out to the countryside like we're doing, you're missing out on a bunch. At this point on the river, you can enjoy a guided boat tour along the waters at the Oboke Gorge sightseeing boat. Just walking down to the river from the Welcome Center is impressive, as the parking area sits high above the river. How they engineered and built this place is beyond me. Okay, honey, where are we?
We're on the Oboke Gorge cruise, but the pamphlet says we're on the Oboke Pleasure Cruise. So we'll see.
We'll see if it's pleasurable.
We'll see.
All righty.
Once on the boat, we were seated with around 10 other visitors, none of them from the West. It was actually nice to be in a part of Japan that is not wall-to-wall Westerners. Though the guide only spoke Japanese, the ride was relaxing nonetheless. The The water is simply an amazing light blue and the rock formations are impressive. The only real disappointing facet of the outing was that we didn't go through any large rapids. This was about as rough as it got. But it was a beautiful day and we weren't driving, so we just relaxed and enjoyed the beautiful scenery all around us. The boat ride is not that long, and honestly, it was a little underwhelming, but hey, we got a great keepsake photo out of it, so that's something. Our next stop for the night was at the Iya Bijin, a quaint traditional Ryokan overlooking a steep gorge. The rooms are traditional Japanese tatami, and ours came with an outdoor bath or onsen. And it even included a luxurious massage chair. Dinner is included, and it was a kaiseki-style meal with several courses of fresh local ingredients. When in Japan, you simply must indulge in one of these at least once. This one featured freshly caught and skewered fish cooked in front of us, as well as one that didn't quite make it. And after dinner, the staff had prepared our futons for the night. The next morning, after driving through more of the mountains, we ended up back crossing the strait between Shikoku and Honshu on the Seto Chuo Expressway and its 6 bridges and 5 viaducts. So look into a visit to Shikoku for a wild and wonderful side of Japan. From mountain rivers to the rocky coast on the sea, there is nothing like it. And make sure you check out our other videos to lesser known places such as Mojiko Retro with its inner harbor and Sasayama with its historic merchant street. Then send us an email with your questions or comments. We'd love to hear from you, and until next time, sayonara!